Hi, everyone, and welcome to this special edition of the GSMA Intelligence Data Point. I'm Peter Jarrett, the head of GSMA Intelligence. Excited today to be talking about CES, but I'm more excited to be doing a data point with three of our analysts where I get to talk with them about their thoughts around CES, one of the most important events of the technology season, and one that we were all following pretty closely. So hopefully by now, you've taken a look, you've seen our analysis of the show. If you haven't, please do. It's a great read. It covers a lot of what was important there. It has pictures, it has insights. It's got insights from the three analysts that you see on your screen here. So we've got Anshu. Anshu's covering our consumer content. We've got Caesar looking at the fixed and video and convergence side of things, and Christina, who looks at IoT and enterprise for us. Hi, guys. How is everyone?
Hey,
good, thank you.
Good. So I think as most people know, CES, obviously, it's a consumer show, but it's a lot more, right? You've got cars, you've got enterprise, you've got IoT modules. Even if you followed it very, very briefly, you know AI was a big topic along with all sorts of random gadgets and stuff. I can tell you, you tell someone that you went to CES, they have lots of questions for you. You try and explain it in one sentence, it's impossible. There's so much going on at this show, which is why we're happy to put together our analyses to help people understand what's going on. And I'm super happy again to be doing this podcast. With that said, let's get into the data point. Let's jump right ahead. And I've got questions for everyone. So Anshu, since CES is famously mostly a consumer show and you're our lead consumer analyst, we're going to start with you. I hope you're okay with that. So consumer AI, obviously, consumer AI was the big focus. I mentioned that. When you think of the two, though, right, that there's two ways to look at that. There's devices and there's services. When you look back at CES, what won? Was it the service side of AI or the device side of AI?
The devices side of AI. Now, there was a lot of innovation depending on the device category. A lot of it iterative, as opposed to big leaps forward. But the common theme across all of these was AI. So on-device AI, embodied AI, for example, the robots from LG and Samsung, AI in smart home devices, AI in XR devices. Now, the infusion of AI in all of these devices could become a differentiating factor in the coming time. However, that remains to be seen.
So I guess it's a question that always gets asked. Everyone sort of, when you talk about CES and you cover CES or anything, it's the question of, okay, was there one announcement that really stuck out? Is there one announcement that you think moved the market? And as we think about this intersection of AI and consumer, was there one thing that really stuck out that changed the market for you?
I wouldn't call it change the market for me, but yes, there were developments which showcase what's happening in the broader market. Rabbit, which garnered a lot of attention, is a good example where they showed their LAM or large action model. Now, LLMs are generally moving to multimodal, and then there's also big emphasis on large action models. And that was something which we got to see at CES.
That's very cool, and I think it's a really good point. I mean, I think again, anyone who, if you followed it in from afar, you followed in the media, Rabbit got a lot of attention. I'd say right up there with transparent screen televisions. It's probably the one thing that a lot of people probably took away. And I guess maybe on that topic, transparent TVs, and I can tell you, if you were there, you saw the crowds waiting just to look at a TV from afar or look through a TV from afar. But on the topic of video, on the topic of TVs, Caesar, how, if we think about the big parts for consumer services, right, entertainment services, video and gaming, right, they're right there at the top. What developments did you see from CES on the video side of things and on the gaming side of things that could possibly disrupt either of those markets?
Sure. So, Peter, you mentioned the transparent TVs, and obviously that, grabbed the headlines because of the cool factor, but it's irrelevant to most people because of a sort of, high price tag attached. They're very expensive. In my eyes, some other developments were more important. So, for example, an example of TV operating system consolidation in the form of Panasonic adopting Fire TV. So as you know, Panasonic's a bit subscale, so for them it makes sense to adopt a more widely used and recognized TV operating system. So Fire TV is Amazon's system. And another sort of interesting headline was TiVo's launch of TiVo Broadband. So basically this is a turnkey platform which enables operators to offer video services without having to invest in pay TV infrastructure. So this could be particularly interesting for smaller operators. Looking at other implications for operators, so obviously, lots of new TV sets, a lot of them featuring AI to optimize picture quality. So telcos can capitalize on that. They can, bundle TV sets with broadband, for example. So SFR already does that in France. And other ways in which telcos can get involved, or communication service providers involved in the video market, is helping consumers to manage and pay for various subscriptions like Netflix and Disney Plus, etc., through portals, unified interfaces so that people can search for all their content without having to go into separate applications, and also direct carrier billing, so adding the various services to the telco bill or cable operator bill. Right, looking at gaming, a lot of the announcements were focused on hardware. So, improvements to monitors using variable refresh rates, better gaming laptops. But what's probably more interesting was more portable handheld consoles. So a competitor to the Steam Deck in the form of MSI Claw, and also a retro handheld console from Hyperkin called the Mega 95. So for operators, the rise of cloud gaming and the broader shift to these portable or mobile devices is good news. And they can try to monetize this by bundling gaming services with connectivity or even devices. And on the B2B side, operators can provide infrastructure such as cloud, edge, and 5G networks to gaming companies. So some operators have gone this way, and no doubt more will follow soon. And finally, if we look at fixed broadband, the most noteworthy announcement was the launch of Wi-Fi 7, which will enhance in-home wireless connectivity, obviously building on the achievements of the previous version. But one thing worth remembering, though, is even if operators start supplying their customers with Wi-Fi 7 routers, so Charter and EE have said they'd start doing this, it will take some time for consumers to get the full benefit of this, because their devices have to be replaced. So smartphones, laptops, etc., have to be Wi-Fi 7 compatible. Otherwise, there'll be a choke point.
Of course, it's always the case. It's it's good. I think you just been really interesting there, Caesar, which I think is really important. It's noting, particularly at the end there, right, the enterprise side of things, right, in terms of what operators can do in terms of serving B2B. And it's a reminder that as much as we think about CES as a consumer show, that obviously there's a huge enterprise focus, even on the Wi-Fi 7 side of things, right? The number of IoT module makers ready there to talk about IoT 7 and talk about their support, right? It's a great reminder, which really turns us to you, Christina. Again, if you're looking at CES and thinking there's nothing for you because you're not a big consumer analyst, you're probably not looking at it in the right way. So what did you see? I mean, let's go back to some of what we kicked off with Anshu, but Caesar also mentioned AI. Right? How did we see AI in the enterprise being addressed at CES? What did it tell us?
Thanks, Peter. So CES 2024 was hard to ignore even for an enterprise analyst. I'd say the convergence of technologies like AI, cloud, and IoT for enterprise use was really the theme. Let me quickly pick up on three major players and the examples of CES announcements. One was Siemens, the industrial automation giant. Second is John Deere, and then third was Walmart. Now, Siemens had a keynote at CES. They talked about the vision for industrial metaverse. Now that's a concept that brings together visualizations for product design, for product development, powered by IoT sensors and AI. They announced the expansion of the accelerator software platform with the generative AI assistance for for their developers, which they developed together with Microsoft. Second, Walmart, they talked about adaptive retail. This is where digital technologies are embedded in all stages of where consumers not only purchase products, but they also discover and receive, maybe recycle as well, both in stores as well as online. Now, for that one, generative AI, IoT cloud, data intelligence were all in use. And finally, John Deere. Now, this is a CES favorite. This year, they had a remote tractor, which people could drive with the use of phone from 1,000 miles away. And John Deere is also using like numerous sensors for real-time feed to farmers. Machine learning is embedded everywhere in farm production. Cameras, precision agriculture drones are at play, and so on. So really, really interesting. So also from an enterprise perspective.
So, and I think beyond, we know as a consumer show, we know there's a big enterprise focus. It's also a car show. I mean, it's increasingly a car show. The West Hall really became a big automotive and smart mobility space, but it's not really about selling cars to consumers. It's more about the development of the components, which really is kind of a B2B and more of an enterprise thing. So as you looked at it, Christina, what did you see on the car front? What was changing there from your perspective?
A lot of new automotive technologies and a lot of it featuring AI, but probably unlike other years where we got to hear more about how we fastly moved to autonomous driving. Now, this year, I think it was mostly about voice control with Gen AI and in-car services. Now, generative AI is used more and more. Now, we had Volkswagen. They announced an integration with ChatGPT into their voice assistant. Mercedes-Benz, they unveiled their own like LLM-based virtual assistant, where users could like voice control functions such as infotainment, navigation, air conditioning, and so on. And this is really the reason why you see so many chip companies appearing at the CES. Now, chip companies such as NVIDIA, AMD, Qualcomm, NXP, they're fast expanding their business into the automotive sector. Also, we had digital cockpits being unveiled in the show by the likes of BlackBerry, AWS, and their work with Stellantis. As well as driving assistive technologies, examples include Qualcomm and Bosch, which they unveiled their SoC offering for cars.
Great. No, thank you. And I think obviously there's so much, like I said, going on at CES that it's nearly impossible to cover even a small fraction of it in 15 minutes. So I want to thank you all for some of the insights. I think to everyone out there who's watching, please check out the analysis. But I think more than that, again, we can only cover a small bit of the insights that are inside all of these brains. Please reach out if you have questions. Right, we're happy to talk about what we saw, about what was missing. Anyone have one quick thing for which they thought was really missing? Top one. Anyone? Shoot. Christina, what was missing from the show?
Oh, I guess, yeah, nothing.
It is so big. I mean, I can tell you that's almost true, right? Sat on sessions and talked with people about 5G broadcast, about sustainability, about satellite, right? A lot of stuff that obviously fits into, and I think as Cesar talked about, opportunities for telcos. So, really that there was something for everyone there. Huge show. Obviously, it's provided a bit of a context for as we look forward to what's going to be taking place just next month at MWC, and you can expect some preview pieces and some wrap-up pieces from us on MWC as well. So it's a busy month for everyone. It's a busy season for us in particular. Please reach out. We would love to chat with us more. Christina, thank you. Cesar,
thanks, Peter.
Thank you. Anshu, thank you. And everyone out there, thank you for tuning in, and please reach out. We'd like to talk to you more about this.